Michael Jackson, the king of pop, succeeded with a series of hits. Thriller, Religion, We Are the World, Smooth Criminal, Black or White, along with his contributions to the dance and fashion industry or charitable organizations, he has been a cultural icon for more than 4 decades. But his name is also associated with the list of scandalous lawsuits. Michael Jackson, the king of pop or a criminal. 1958 to 1964, victim of child abuse. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958. He is the 8th of 10 children in an African-American working-class family. Michael went through his childhood under the violence from his biological father, Mr. Joseph Jackson, Joe.
Because he sat in a chair and he had this bell in his hand, and if you didn't do it the right way, he would tear you up.
This has resulted in Michael Jackson suffering from chronic insomnia, frequent nightmares, as well as dissatisfaction with his appearance. 1964 to 1975, the family band Jackson 5. In 1964, Michael joined the Jackson Brothers, a band their father formed which consisted of all the Jackson Brothers. Initially, he played as an assistant in conga and tambourine. During one group practice, Michael suddenly got in mood and started to dance, doing the same moves as James Brown. He copied perfectly the steps he saw on TV. And that's when the brothers in the band recognized Michael's top performance and placed Michael as the main vocalist. At first, the brothers only toured in Indiana, but after winning a music award with the song My Girl, the group confidently traveled through several different states and became increasingly popular. 1982 to 1983, the king of pop was born. In 1972, Michael released his first solo work, the album Of the War. This album brought him his first Grammy Award. But it was not until November 30, 1982, when the album Thriller was released, that his career marked a new era to the music industry. Thriller holds the record for the best-selling album of all time with sales of over 65 million copies. Also brought Michael a record of 8 Grammy Awards, 8 American Music Awards, and 3 MTV Music Video Awards. Thriller was so hot that every time MTV played the piece, the number of the audiences increased tenfold. The album changed the perception, the concept of music, style, skin color, as well as the number of successful singles that can be taken from an individual album. Thriller was like a beacon that swept up the entire music industry, which had been losing its audience by the boring trend of synthetic pop. Thriller made Michael Jackson the top star of the global music industry with the name The King of Pop, crashing down the racial barriers in the music industry at the end of the 20th century and becoming the #1 legend that no one could ever surpass to this day. 1984, criticism of plastic surgery. Michael Jackson's skin became paler, his skin color gradually changed and eventually turned completely white. Along with that, his nose was recognized to have changed in shape. The press reported a series of questions about this issue, claiming that he had plastic surgery and skin bleaching. Many newspapers said that he felt insecure by his appearance as well as his skin color, and he was trying to alter it. There were even some opinions that he deliberately did so to turn himself white so that he could become more famous in America. As for the nose, in the original edition of Jackson's biography, Tara Borelli revealed that Michael Jackson's nose repair was performed due to his nose being broken while performing complicated choreographies. But the surgery was not a complete success. He found it difficult to breathe and later resulted in subsequent nose-lift surgery to help Michael breathe easier. In February 1993, in an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jackson revealed that the change in his skin color was caused by vitiligo.
I have a skin disorder that destroys the pigmentation of the skin. It's something that I cannot help, okay? But when people make up stories that I don't want to be who I am, it hurts me.
Shortly after Michael Jackson's death, they found tubes of Benadryl and hydroquinone in the Jackson house, both of which are recommended for adults with vitiligo. And the results of Michael's autopsy confirmed that his vitiligo was real. 1985, Singing for a Better World. In 1985, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie started to compose the immortal song We Are the World. A song that joined by 45 stars, singers and musicians to sing together. A song that connects the nations of the world, brings people together for the world without war, poverty, disease. All revenue, more than $63 million from this single, were donated to victims of the famine that plagued Ethiopia, Chad, Mali, Nigeria, Sudan and Mozambique in 1984 and 1985. Although he has been through more than 2 decades with many changes, the meaning and impact of the song still remains until now. Besides producing songs, Michael Jackson also actively participated in charity until the end of his life. He has contributed to 39 charities around the world with the amount of more than $300 million and tons of necessities for children and the poor. Every time he goes on tour, he visits the pediatric hospital or orphanage for donation. Along with many works full of love, the Earth Song, Black and White, Heal the World, King of Pop or a Criminal. A series of lawsuits against Michael Jackson for sexual abuse has shocked all fans and severely damaged his reputation. In 1993, when Michael was preparing for the tour Dangerous, he was accused of sexually abusing Evan Chancellor's 13-year-old son. In 2003, the young Gavin, whom Michael Jackson helped to overcome the fatal illness, accused the star himself of improper behavior towards him. Until now, there is still no evidence to prove that the boys' words are either right or wrong. But sure enough, they have toppled the pop icon from the top of fame into the dark pit. 2 lawsuits follow, along with the insults from the world that led to the exhaustion of his spirit. He also suffered from the mistreatment by the city police department. They rushed into Michael's house, rummaging through and destroying his estate, even in places not open to strangers. They forced Michael in humiliating body searching. If Michael resisted, he would be charged with anti-duty. The lawsuit lasted for a long time, leaving Michael physically and mentally exhausted. In the 1993 lawsuit, Michael used money to settle the case, leading to a lot of conflicting rumors. Some cannot help but wonder, does this man seek to cover his crime? In the 2003 lawsuit, Michael decided to sue to the end and was acquitted. June 25, 2009, the death of a legend. News of Michael Jackson's death were first announced on TMZ.com and the Los Angeles Times, causing disruptions to both sites. Several search engines and social networks around the world were overloaded. Many pages even crashed after a few hours. The Wikipedia Foundation announced nearly 1 million views of Jackson's biography in less than 1 hour, becoming the most visited article in 1 hour in Wikipedia history. AOL called this a pivotal moment in the history of the internet, saying, "We haven't seen anything like that when anyone dies." Michael Jackson's death led to a global shock. The founder of Michael Jackson fan club said 12 people committed suicide after June 25th when the pop star passed away. Michael Jackson fans all over the world have come to the streets to commemorate him. The streets around the hospital where he died were blocked. Many Americans stopped working to watch news about him on television. A small crowd with the mayor of the city gathered outside Jackson's childhood home, where the town hall's flag was held to commemorate him. U.S. President Barack Obama, former President of South Africa Nelson Mandela, Head of Internal Communication Japan Tsutomu Sato, UK Prime Minister Gordon Brown, all gave the words of mourning when the legend of pop passed away. More than 1.6 million fans registered in just 2 days to receive tickets to Michael Jackson Memorial Service held at Staples Center. The gilded coffin was placed directly below the stage during the ceremony, but there is still no information about his final resting place. The memorial show is one of the biggest events in streaming history, with an estimated 31.1 million followers in the United States. Michael Jackson had gone with infinite grief from all over the world. Controversial opinions. Until now, there is still mixed opinions regarding the life of our King of Pop. The first was convinced that Michael Jackson was innocent. They argued that the allegations of sexual abuse are due to people trying to blackmail him and are conspiracies seek to harm a talented black man. They believe that Michael Jackson in their hearts is a righteous person with compassion for this world. Another group regard all the lawsuits as true. One back then, media for recording purpose was not popular, such as cameras or audio recorders. And the people who testified innocent to Michael Jackson were bought with money and under threat, especially when the documentary film Leaving Neverland, published after Michael Jackson's death, has raised a lot of doubts about the details of the lawsuits that year. But all are just questions and the words have no evidence. Michael Jackson's personality has been and remains a mystery. But there is one thing that everyone cannot deny. Michael Jackson is a talented artist, a forever music icon no one can replace. Would you like to know about other celebrity biographies? Please leave a comment below. If you want to know more stories about famous people while learning English at the same time, please subscribe to the YouTube In Breaking channel. And hold on, we left our vocabulary list at the end of the video. Let's study English with In Breaking.